Solka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 5, Section 2, number 34, which reads, for the sake of logic and coherence of a paragraph, sentence 3 should be placed where? So there's several things to consider when considering these sentence placement questions. Number 1, ask yourself, the paragraphs go from general to specific or specific to general? They go general to specific. So you got to check the transition before, check the transition after. If in either spot it's going specific to general, you know it's in the wrong spot. Also, do paragraphs go from solution to problem or problem to solution? Of course they go from problem to solution. Same thing, check the transition before, check the transition after. If in either spot it's going solution to problem, you know it's in the wrong spot. And always check that transition after, because a lot of times it works with the transition before but not the transition after. You also want to make sure you're not separating any sentences that should not be separated, and also see if you'd expect something before or after one of the sentences. So for example, if it says, without this idea, Einstein would have never formed his theory of relativity. Are you expecting something before or after? You're expecting something before. What are you expecting before? You're expecting the idea. Notice it said this idea, so you want to pay attention to words like this, that, these, those. That's going to tell you what should come before. So now we read sentence 3. Newspapers, the traditional nurturing ground for investigative journalism, have been hit especially hard by widespread availability of news online. So it's naming newspapers, it's got a certain degree of specificity, and as it turns out, general to specific plays into the answer here. So you've got to read what surrounds to see if it works. So if I were to read it, let's consider answer choice A, where it is now. I'm going to read sentence 2, then 3, then 4. 2. Facing lower print circulation and diminished advertising revenue, many major newspapers have reduced or eliminated investigative resources. And then it goes on to say, newspapers, the traditional nurturing ground for investigative journalism, have been hit especially hard by the widespread availability of news online. So my thought is that it's got to go before sentence 2. Why before sentence 2? Because it sounds like it's introducing newspapers and their significance to investigative journalism. And in sentence 2, it's talking about more specifically what the problem is. So I'm going to eliminate answer choice. Let's see, that was where it is now, which is A. Let's see before sentence 1. Newspapers, traditional and nurturing ground for investigative journalism, have been hit especially hard by the widespread availability of free news online. And then it says the recent precipitous decline of print journalism as a viable profession has exacerbated long-held concerns about the state of investigative reporting in the United States. Notice this says print journalism. It's more general. You're not going to name newspapers before you say print journalism. Print journalism could include newspapers and magazines and whatever is printed. So it's not going to be placed before sentence 1. Let's see if we place it after sentence 1. The recent precipitous decline of print journalism as a viable profession has exacerbated long-held concerns about the state of investigative reporting in the United States. Newspapers, the traditional nurturing ground for investigative journalism, have been hit especially hard by the widespread availability of news online. Facing lower print circulation and diminished advertising revenue, many major newspapers have reduced or eliminated investigative resources. So you see sentence 1 is most general. It gets more specific with sentence 3, and then even more so with sentence 2. It looks like we are going to place it after sentence 1. And delete it from the paragraph, it's giving the significance of newspapers within this discussion. And then it does name in sentence 2 many major newspapers, so it does have its place in the paragraph. Answer choice D is wrong as well. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has difficulty with sentence placement questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.